Section 5. Employees' Productivity and Motivation. Introduction. The goal is to bring together a collection of resources that describe and comment on key variables in the organizational environment that relate to employee motivation and productivity. Objective: to ensure that students know the link between motivation and productivity, how managers can motivate their workers to better productivity. Content. The value of human resource productivity is a managerial concern. Employee motivation is the classic response on this matter. This has been utilized for ages by many different entities, small and large-scale businesses alike. It fosters mutual growth in an employer-employee relationship. Indeed, motivation increases productivity. The interrelationship between motivation and productivity. Motivation and productivity are twin concepts in organizational development. First, motivation works as a means toward attaining productivity as an end. Another point, motivation is the best cause to reach productivity as a favorable effect. Lastly, motivation is the stimulus to trigger productivity as a response. All these are concrete connections between the two factors. Motivation increases productivity. People are one of the most important assets in business. They have unlimited potential to contribute in the achievement of objectives. Their aggregate productivity propels the operations of the company. It indicates the overall performance, which creates an attractive corporate culture. The value of human resource productivity is a managerial concern. Employee motivation is the classic response on this matter. This has been utilized for ages by many different entities, small and large-scale businesses alike. It fosters mutual growth in an employer-employee relationship. Indeed, motivation increases productivity. Quantitative and qualitative productivity. Standards are set to align performance. They comprise objectives against which actual output is compared. There are two prominent performance measures. These are quantitative and qualitative evaluation methods. Both measures are inimical to the assessment procedures. As motivation increases productivity, the latter should be gauged accordingly. Quantitative measure is done with the aid of statistical and numerical tools. This entails some calculations to arrive at a rate or percentage. The results are then interpreted as either acceptable or not acceptable. Favorable performance is either at par or above par. Unfavorable performance is obviously below par. This is likely reliable, being objective in nature. Qualitative measure is done through testimonials. There are many sources to consider, such as customers, co-workers, and the immediate head. Their statements are relevant to the expected functions of the employees found at the job description and specification. This is subjective in nature. Careful scrutiny is advised. No doubt, motivation increases productivity. It is but critical to upkeep consistency in the provision of extrinsic and intrinsic rewards for consistent performance. The conceptual model of relationship between productivity and employee motivation. Conceptual model. Management role. Relationship between productivity and employee motivation. Productivity. Employees, resources, systems, processes, goods, produced, services, delivered organization. By making work easier, simpler, quicker, rewarding, safer, and fun. Use our supervisor's guide to productivity improvement to develop the skills required here. Click improves employee motivation. Always be critical about the work undertaken in your area. Continually seek ways of reducing work content. Time taken, sweating resources is for the accountant and does not help you longer term, either in your search for productivity or your leadership of those assets you are charged with. Employee motivation and productivity. The success of any business depends largely on the motivation of the employees. Human resources are essential to the prosperity, productivity, and performance of any company. Motivation is the key to creating an environment where optimal performance is possible. So, how do you ensure that individual motivation is at its peak within workplace? Every person has his own set of motivations and personal incentives to work hard or not, as the case may be. Some are motivated by recognition, whilst others are motivated by cash incentives. Whatever the employee's motivation, the key to promoting that motivation as an employer is understanding than incentives. Employee incentive programs go a long way towards ensuring employees feel appreciated and worthwhile. This alone can help with employee motivation across the board. The great thing about these programs is that they are very individualized. That is, you tailor your programs to suit the needs and wants of your employees. Incentive programs increase motivation because they not only encourage productive performance but also show employees that the company cares. Perhaps the most significant impact of increased employee motivation is that of increased productivity. This is a central aim when adopting an incentive program. If you can increase employee motivation, productivity will follow, and with that, the inevitable increased bottom line. Employee incentive programs promote workplace harmony, employee performance, and most of all, employee motivation. This is the key to long-term benefit for a company. Motivated employees means staff retention and company loyalty. These are two things that will have a significant impact on the growth and development of your business. Employee incentive programs work by offering rewards for outstanding performance, hard work, or results. Employees who meet targets, go beyond the call of duty, or simply do a good job are rewarded for their efforts. The rewards and incentives vary and can be as individual as the employees themselves. Employee incentive programs work because they offer diverse rewards that meet the needs of the company as a whole. In order to maximize employee motivation via employee incentives, it is useful to discuss the program with employees. Spend some time to figure out what your employees actually want out of an incentive program. Find out what motivates them and how they want to be rewarded for productive performance. If you take the time to do this, then you will be able to implement a program based on the individualized needs of your employees. A distinctive tailor-made program will increase employee motivation and in turn your profit. Employee motivation is essential to the success of any company, big or small. In the modern workplace, human resources are valued above all others. Motivated employees are productive, happy, and committed. The spin-off of this includes reduced employee turnover, results-driven employees, company loyalty, and workplace harmony. It should be recognized that different people are motivated by different things. One person may be motivated by spending as much time with their family as possible, whilst another might be more motivated by promotion opportunities. It is key to understand the different motivations of each employee. Certain steps can be taken to understand what employee motivation is and also support their aims and objectives. These steps are: arrange one-on-one meetings with each employee. People tend to better appreciate your care and concern for them than more than simply the amount of time or attention you give them. Take a real interest and get to know your employees, their families, what they do in their free time, etc. Develop strong delegation practices. Pass on authority and responsibility to your employees and leave it up to them to decide how they will carry out their work. Doing so allows employees to feel more trusted by their employer, which leads to more fulfillment and motivation. Assess employee behavior rather than employee personalities. Your opinions and decisions regarding your employees should be based on behavior toward goal, not on how popular certain employees are and how you personally feel about them. Operating in this manner makes it clear that better performance is the only way to achieve recognition. Act in a timely manner. Normally, the less time that elapses between an employee's positive action or behavior and their reward, the clearer it is to the employee and their colleagues, which is what you seek. Apply performance management principles. You should stipulate objectives, measures to show if the objectives are being reached or not, ongoing feedback about measures toward the objectives, and corrective procedures to redirect employees towards achieving the objectives when necessary. Celebrate achievements. Recognize that when it comes to motivating employees, acknowledging and celebrating a solution to a problem can be as important as the solution itself. Repeated failures to acknowledge success leads to employees becoming frustrated and cynical about their employer and reduces employee productivity. This is the end of section 5. Thanks for listening.